Good morning, grade 7 students. Welcome to our quarter 3 module 7 lesson, Asking WH Questions. Asking WH Questions. Are you ready for today's lesson? But before that, allow me to present the objectives. At the end of the lesson, you, the grade 7 students, will be able to identify the different types and functions of WH questions, such as who, what, when, where, why, whose, whom, which, and how. Construct WH questions correctly when writing about a certain issue or topic. And appreciate the importance of WH questions by actively engaging in discussions and exercises where you apply WH questions to inquire about relevant issues or topics. Recall. What was our last topic? Exactly. The statements of fact and opinion. A fact is a specific detail that can be proven as true based on objective evidence, while an opinion is a feeling, judgment, belief, or conclusion that cannot be proven as true by objective evidence. Now, before we discuss our main topic for today, let us play a game first. This game will spark interest into your minds. The game that I am referring to is called Pick a Door. Are you ready? In this game, you will be divided into two groups. The doors that are shown contain a WH question. Each team take turns when picking a door. When your group picks a door, you must answer the WH question inside. If you answer correctly, then you will earn points. If not, then there will be no points awarded. The team with the highest total points wins the game. Are you ready? If yes, then you may now pick a door. Who was the first president in the Philippines? Correct. Emilio Aguinaldo. What is the national flower of the Philippines? Exactly. Sampaguita. Where is the famous Mayon volcano located? Very good. In the province of Albay. How many stars are there in the flag of the Philippines? Precisely. There are 3 stars.
What, where, when, why, who? The 5 W's, and don't forget it's just the H for how.
What, where, when, why, who? The 5 W's. What, where, when, why, who? The 5 W's. And don't What's that?
It's an ice cream.
Where did you buy it?
From a shop
When did you get it?
2 minutes ago.
Why are you so happy?
Because I have an ice cream.
Who likes ice cream?
I really do.
How do you know?
Because it makes me happy.
What, where, when, why, who? The 5 W's. What, where, when, why, who? The 5 W's. And don't forget how. How could you forget how?
What, where, when, why, who? The 5 W's, and don't forget it's just the H for how.
What, where, when, why, who? W's. What, where, when, why, who? The 5 W's. And don't forget how. How can you forget how?
All right, that ends our motivational activity. Now, how did you find the activity? Did you have fun? Was it enjoyable? Did it tickle your interest? Okay, very good. So, from the activity, what have you noticed in every question that you have answered? Exactly. It starts with a WH question. How did you come up with your answers? Okay. From the activity that we have just had, have you ever wondered why we ask questions?
And now, let us proceed to our main topic, which is the asking of WH question. The WH questions begin with what, where, when, who, whom, which, whose, why, and how. First is what. What is used to ask about a thing. Example: what is your favorite movie? It is also used with another word such as time or to ask about clock time. Example: what time does the show start? Second, where. Where is used to ask about a place. For example, where do you live? Third WH question. When. When is used to ask about a time. For example, when does the class start? And the fourth WH question is who. Who is used to ask about a person. Example: who did you invite to your party?
Now we have whom. It's used to ask about people. It is object of a verb and object of a preposition. Example: whom did you speak to on the phone? It is object of a verb. To whom did you lend your car? It is object of a preposition. Which is used to ask about a choice. Example: which do you prefer, chicken or steak? Whose is used to ask about position. Example: whose book is this? Why is used to ask about a reason. Example: Why do you like reading so much? How is used to ask about a method or way. Example: how do you turn on this computer? We use them to ask for information. The answer cannot be yes or no. Examples: when do you finish high school? The answer: next year. Who is your favorite actor? The answer: Lee Min-ho for sure. Alright, since we're done forming WH questions, definitions, and examples, let's jump to forming WH questions with an auxiliary verb. Forming WH questions with an auxiliary verb. We usually form WH questions with WH plus an auxiliary verb, be, do, or have, plus subject plus main verb, or with WH plus a modal verb plus subject plus main verb. Examples: be, when are you leaving? Who's been paying the bills? Do, where do they live? Why don't you call me? Have, what has she done now? What have they decided? Modal, who would she stay with? Where should I park?
When discussing sentences without an auxiliary verb, it is important to understand the structure and the usage of the subject and verb in the sentence. When what, who, which, or whose is the subject or part of the subject, the auxiliary verb is not used. Instead, the word order is subject plus verb. Here are the examples. What fell off the wall? Which horse won? Who bought this? Whose phone rang? Now, let's compare. For example, in the sentence, who owns this bag? The subject is who and this bag is the object. Therefore, no auxiliary verb is used. In contrast, in the sentence, who do you love most? The subject is you and who is the object. So, the auxiliary verb do is used. Next is the negative WH questions. When we ask negative WH questions, we use the auxiliary verb do when there is no other auxiliary or modal verb, even when the WH word is the subject of the clause. Here's an example. In affirmative with no auxiliary, sentences like who wants an ice cream and which door opened are sentences where we just say who or what did something without using extra words like do or did. While in negative with auxiliary do, sentences like who doesn't want an ice cream and which door didn't open are sentences where we say who or what didn't do something and we add the word do to show it's negative.
All right, those are the WH questions. Now, can you enumerate what those WH questions are? Exactly. Who, what, when, where, why, whose, whom, which, and how. Okay, very good. Seems like you really paid attention to our discussion today. Do you have any question, clarification, or violent reaction with regard to what we have tackled moments ago? If none, then let's test your understanding.
Okay, to check your understanding, let us apply this by constructing one WH questions about this issue or topic using these three words. First, cyberbullying. Second, body shaming. And last is climate change.
Okay, let's have an activity. Task 1. Identify whether the statement is true or false. Write your answer after each sentence. Number 1. WH questions can be answered with a simple yes or no. What is the answer? The answer is false. Next question. WH questions always start with the letter W. What is the answer? The answer is false. Next number. WH questions are used to ask for information. What is the answer? The answer is true. Next question. WH questions can only be formed with an auxiliary verb. What is the answer? The answer is false. Last number. WH question can be formed without using an auxiliary verb such as when, what, who, which, or whose is the subject. What is the answer? The answer is true. Let's now proceed to the test 2. Choose the appropriate WH question for the given dialogue. Write the letter and words. Number 1. You can send your questions, comments, and suggestions to the email address flashed on the screen. What is the answer for this? The answer is letter C. Where do we send our concerns regarding your product? Number 2. The class president will present us in the Students' Council meeting tonight. What is the answer? The answer is A. Who will present us in the Students' Council meeting? Next number. Lockdowns are implemented to prevent the virus from spreading. What is the answer? The answer is letter A. Why are lockdowns implemented? Last number. I guess it's George. He has other plans this weekend. What is the answer for this? Letter A. Who doesn't want to join hiking this weekend?
And now let's proceed to test 3 directions. Make 1 questions for each WH questions, which is who, what, why, when, which, and how. And for your assignment, watch the video entitled COVID-19 by Johns Hopkins University experts discuss the novel coronavirus and formulate the 5 questions to further deepen your understanding and broaden your knowledge at the topic being discussed. Write your answers in a 1/2 sheet of paper. Questions, clarifications? None? Okay, thank you class. See you in next meeting and goodbye class.